So I want to talk about two things. First and foremost, I'm embarking on the aluminum cube project. It's going to be tough. This is by far the hardest thing I've ever machined, I guarantee. I'm bringing a jig I made home tomorrow. I made a jig today, and everybody looked at it and they're like, nifty. And I'm looking at them like, fuck you. That's not nifty. That was an incredibly hard piece to make. It's probably one of the most complicated things I've ever made, and it works perfectly. It's just, it's balanced right. I threw a machinist level on top of it. It is as level can be. I threw a dial indicator up on the spindle, cranked that motherfucker back and forth. It's straight as straight can be. I think it's 23 inches, because that's how much the table can travel on that machine. And it's off by like 5 thou from one end to the other. I mean, that's some damn good machining, in my opinion, considering the material I was given and how I had to, build tons of risers and stuff. I'll bring it tomorrow. I'm bringing it so I can put it on YouTube and brag about it, because it is a badass fucking jig. So, scramble. I won't forget music this time. Yeah. Oh, metal looks good. Scramble. So, I'm starting my aluminum cube build. I've done all my cursory sketches on how exactly I'm going to put this thing together and how I'm going to jig it. And did it in 2 pages. I think that's pretty good. I only need 6 parts, and I only think I need 3 jigs. I'm pretty happy with that. 3 jigs is not, and I actually have, let's see, I have the one built, and I might be able to use, no, I'm going to have to build another jig for that too. So I can't use something I've already used. I'm going to have to build, so I'm going to have to build 2 jigs, which isn't bad, possibly 3. It's kind of going to depend on how complicated I want to get. I'm really obsessed with building cubes right now. Last time I got an obsession with building stuff, I was building tattoo grips, like tattoo machine grips. I don't know why. I really got off on it for a while, and I got bored of it. If you look at my Facebook, I actually have a magnetic Ferris cube schematic, and I think that's what I'm going to build after I build this one. So, we'll see. What'll probably happen is I'll build this one, it'll work good, like I'll finally go, oh, I have a good working cube. The metal cube fucked up. If you watch Metal Cube Experiment, it doesn't work. So this one compensates for all of that, and it'll work wonderful, and I'll go, oh, this is awesome, I'm bored with that. I'll set it down and I'll figure out a new thing I want to build, which, isn't that the pursuit of knowledge? Refer back to other video where I talk about what truth is. So, I am pursuing truth through building Rubik's Cubes and tattoo grips and silencers. built a silencer before too. No, I haven't. That's a lie. But I melted it into a bunch of little, like, globules of things before I used it, because I didn't want to get indicted and charged with something over something I didn't do, obviously. I've never built a silencer. That's silly. Who would do that? I don't even know how to build a silencer, except that I do, but I don't. Oh yeah. Music. Music. And so this is the guy I was actually talking about earlier, Poincare. He's very unheard of, and is so influential. And I mean, just he's such a polymath, such a Renaissance man. Contributed to philosophy, mathematics, physics, and I mean, not just minor shit, like anything you've heard of from his era, he contributed a little bit to it. You know, if you read a paper by Newton, yeah, Newton got some ideas from him. If you read a paper by Leeuwenhoek or Hook, yeah, Leeuwenhoek and Hook are two different people, by the way. They might actually be different eras, but I mean, this guy was hugely influential. I've had such a hard time tracking down any of his writings. I've heard he's a wonderful writer too, so I just got this in the mail today. I'm very excited. So I've not actually read him, other than I read the introduction, because I got it today and had to read part of it just for funsies. But just a wonderful man. You know, if you read about, historically about scientists or mathematicians, or his name just comes up time and time and time again, and you're just like, who is this guy? And like, why have I never fucking heard of him? And I don't know. I have no idea why he is just such a buried name when it comes to this stuff. You know, I think he even wrote fiction, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that one, but I mean, just a brilliant, prolific, amazingly intelligent guy, and you've never heard his name before. Poincare. I'm running out of space over here. I shouldn't set my books on my calculator. So, of course, from Poincare, since, you know, he did contribute to mathematics and physics, I have to bring up Feynman. Feynman is the shit. He's obviously not a philosopher. There's a noise happening outside. I have no idea what it is. I swear to God, it sounded like there was somebody like banging shit in my front lawn or something. That was creepy. I own a gun, so it doesn't matter. There it is again. You're good with this. Oh, do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Oh. You're just gonna have to fit beside the books. Yeah, scratch them for you. There. Does that make you happy? Does that make you happy? Hmm? Does that make you happy? wonderful author. He's not even an author. Wonderful physicist, and he's a hilarious author. He's kind of the pragmatist of the pragmatists. He doesn't even bother with the philosophy shit. He's just like, this is how I experience the world. And no punches, no bullshit, no fucking technical jargon, just like easy to read shit with really deep philosophical implications. Really deep philosophical implications to it. And so, like, there's parts in here. Oh. Who dog-eared this? This is one of my favorite books. I don't want it to get dog-eared. Anyway. He just talks about, like, just things where he's trying to figure out how the world works, and it's a really intuitive look at how you go about reasoning. And the one book, or one story in here I particularly wanted to talk about was, he discusses, and it's really funny within that story, he just unapologetically and without fanfare or anything just says, sometimes when I do this I smoke marijuana. And there's just one line in there, and it totally throws you off because you'd never expect him to do that, because even he has a story in here about how he kind of doesn't like drinking, and it's just not his thing. And so a Nobel Prize laureate, just in black and white, in one sentence, nonchalant, could give a shit less about the politics of it, the morality of it, whatever fucking other aspect you want to argue about it, just says, sometimes when I do this I smoke marijuana. And it's a really great story in here, and it's about dreams. And it was him trying to figure out how to control his dreams and do things of that nature, and like figure out the difference between dreams and reality. And so it's a really poignant commentary on solipsism, in my opinion, where he's like, no, the reason solipsism doesn't work is because here's the difference between dreams and reality. And like, he has a wonderful example where he talks about how he was falling asleep, and logically it made sense in his head that the world was a doorknob pressing against the back of his head. Which, I mean, I know it sounds insane, but I'm sure every one of you has had a dream like that where for whatever reason, this thing that just is so stupid makes perfect logical sense while you're dreaming it. You wake up and you're like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But, and that's actually generally my argument against solipsism, is that our brain isn't complex enough or consistent enough for us to, thank you, but for us to maintain a world, it makes sense for about an hour, and then, even within your dreams, you're going like, something's wrong here, like there is weirdness going on, and to be able to wake up every single morning and wake up to the same exact world that follows the same very hard to learn rules. Our brain works hard to learn, even the like simple rules that we all understand, let alone like if you're getting a degree in psychology or physics or something where the rules are just incredibly complicated and intertwined in all these crazy ways, and you're constantly learning new things about them. For your brain to be able to create that whole image and then keep it consistent, to me is very unlikely. I think the brain is entirely too unreliable for that. I mean, I guess the premise would be, if you accept the existence of other minds, you kind of have to accept the existence of an external world. So, I have solved my centers, but haven't finished my lecture on Feynman and Poincare, so I'm going to make it quick and just say I'll finish it another day.